Twisted Metal covers mobile homes in one Louisiana town. Now, investigators will discover today if a tornado caused the damage. Today, learn when severe storms could flare from Dallas to St. Louis. And rain from weekend storms sends more waterways out of their banks. Ahead, learn how much more rain could fall where it's just not needed.
Then discover who could be clearing away up to a foot of snow. We're tracking the wild end of March now on First Outlook. Good morning, I'm Nick Walker.
And I'm Kim Perez. Well, you know, March roared in and it's roaring out.
In the upper Midwest, it's time to grab the snow shovels. 5 to 8 inches of snow could fall in Valentine, Nebraska. Sioux Falls and Minneapolis could get 6 to 10 inches of snow, and Mankato could see 8 to 12 inches.
Of course, there's the threat for some severe weather as we watch our front moving east. Scattered strong storms possible this morning in parts of Oklahoma, eventually here into Dallas, as far north as Illinois. And overnight, if you're in Chicago, expect the potential of some heavy rain and possibly an isolated severe storm. Little Rock, more heavy rain and severe weather for you tonight, and then it's gone by tomorrow. And then this front weekend, especially the southern end, we'll see some showers in Atlanta, and the rain and wind moves into New York City. All right, Nick, here in the Midwest, let's update them on the severe weather now.
And we do have some strong thunderstorms here. Kim, we are finding ourselves with thunderstorms here into portions of southern Kansas and into northern Kansas, too. Eastern Pottawatomie County, you're under a severe thunderstorm warning right now, as is Marshall County in northeastern Kansas. And these thunderstorms could pack winds of up to 70 miles an hour today. So we're continuing to follow these storms as they head northward here into Nebraska, where we have a new severe thunderstorm warning. And that extends into areas eventually toward Lincoln and toward Omaha, too. And this includes the city of Falls City, eastern Richardson County, and southeast Nebraska. You are under a severe thunderstorm warning this morning. We have the possibility of perhaps some hail, some damaging winds, and also the possibility of very heavy rainfall throughout this region. Let me show you the widespread area where we could see severe weather throughout the day. And all this red southward from Texas on up toward Iowa, Des Moines, Kansas City, St. Louis, even into places like Omaha today could see those storms, and we'll continue to see them track eastward into Chicago tonight, where we could see the possibility of that damaging wind and also hail too. Minneapolis is going to be snowfall for you, and you're going to try to play a little baseball tonight amid that snowfall, but we should get up to 38 degrees, so it's going to be kind of a wet, heavy snow. Be careful trying to shovel it. Into tomorrow, Chicago should be drier, but we'll still see that snowfall off toward Minnesota, into Wisconsin, and the UP of Michigan. Up to a foot of snow could collect here. Now, let's see what's collecting toward the south. And boy, they had a rough weekend, didn't they, Kim?
They sure did, Nick. You know, it was a quick storm that hit Jordantown, Texas, but you know what? It's taken some time to clean up the damage, and it will when you see damage like this. Strong winds, hail, and thunderstorms swept in Saturday, sending trees, fences, rooftops flying. You know what? No injuries were reported, though. And as of yesterday, crews were still working to restore the power. Now, severe weather continues here in parts of Oklahoma, with a couple of warnings here north of Oklahoma City, east of Enid at this point. This is Osage and Pawnee County. And if you live east of there, especially the northern burbs of Tulsa, this is something to keep an eye on. These storms really not moving very quickly, and they're putting down a lot of heavy rain as they sit there. So that's the other big threat with these storms, not just large hail and damaging winds, but a lot of heavy water, or a lot of water with this as it's continuing to move off towards the north and east. And then for the rest of us, it's pretty quiet, a little bit of light rain around Nashville. East winds in Atlanta keeping us cool this morning. As a matter of fact, let's show you those temperatures this morning as we're looking at temperatures only in the 40s in Atlanta. Those are those east winds here in the Carolinas and in Georgia that keep us cooler, when our neighbors with the southeasterly winds and southerly winds are in the 70s and 60s here this morning. So that forecast, clouds in Atlanta, cool. We'll break that wedge of cold air later today and warm up to the 60s. But Dallas, Oklahoma City, here in Little Rock, that severe weather threat with us today. Be prepared for large hail and damaging winds today. Tomorrow will be much better. 81 in Dallas today. Look at Atlanta, 57 degrees. Hopefully getting into the 60s, but it doesn't look like we're going to get there. And then tomorrow, here comes that rain in Atlanta and in Norfolk. Nick?
Let's take a look now toward the northeast, where we're seeing some rain pushing your way, and it looks like a lot of us are going to get wet, and even some of us could get icy. Syracuse, New York, some of this rain could turn over to ice as temperatures are hovering around the freezing mark, and we'll see some of that rain freeze perhaps on contact on some of the roads. Watch out, particularly the bridges and overpasses. Those will be the biggest problems. Rain pushing into the western portions of Pennsylvania could mean wet times here for Pittsburgh and eventually for Philadelphia, New York, and down toward D.C. and northward to Boston will find wet weather as well. Temperatures will not support the snowfall here around New York City with a 51-degree high. A little cooler there in Boston. Rain coming in by afternoon, and look for more wet weather here throughout much of the Northeast tomorrow. And the winds really picking up here as we get into this evening and into tomorrow, particularly around Boston. Look at those temperatures rise up to the 60s. Kim?
Of course, when waters rise, don't go in them. Ahead, learn who's at greatest risk for more flooding. Then even ducks had to seek shelter due to recent flooding. Find out how one family's helping to find pets new homes. And threatening skies are just one of the first signs of storm trouble to come. We'll track a storm from start to finish next.